Do your joints ache? Are you really strong but stiff as a plank? Or maybe you're already flexible, but your joints are floppy and unstable. Today, we will explore the best science-based tools to merge strength and flexibility. In other words, to get mobile. Forget infinite numbers of different corrective exercises. Cover all of it with cars. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every click helps our channel spread the evolutionary perspective of fitness and helps us all live longer, healthier lives. At the end of 2023, our tribe explored the evolutionary perspective of health and fitness. We applied our understanding of how humans have evolved to move in our daily lives. Those who participated in our 14-day New Year challenge reported great benefits in our tribe discussions. Now, this evolutionary perspective is not unique to me or our tribe. It's evolutionary biology. I've learned this from many great teachers, scientists, and doctors. Dr. Andreo Spina, founder of Functional Range Systems, promotes this perspective of health and fitness through his courses.
And we've been in this current form for about 100 to 200,000 years. And if you look at our history, for the vast majority of it, we've just existed as hunter-gatherers. Civilization just started like a second ago from the evolutionary timescale.
No hunter-gatherer got up in the morning and said, I need stronger legs, I'm gonna go squat. Nobody did that. You just lived, and the fact that living was so physical, that's what maintained your physical well-being. When you get further away from what you're naturally selected to do, you're gonna break down.
In a previous video, we discussed some of the things we were naturally selected to do. Or in other words, what we evolved to do. We discussed 5 important movement patterns that primates and hunter-gatherers perform and practice them throughout our challenge. Now, I have good news and bad news. The good news is, if you participated in the challenge or any of our other programs on EVCO, you've made a positive impact on your health, your mobility, and your overall well-being, developing healthy habits that hopefully last a lifetime. The bad news is we can't get away from the problem of modern life. We have jobs, we drive cars, we use computers for many essential activities we do today. It is simply not realistic to mimic the intensity and volume of daily activity that our hunter-gatherer ancestors endured. So now, the question is, how do we compensate for not doing what we were naturally selected to do? Lifting weights, running, and practicing natural patterns will do a lot, but it won't quite do enough. In fact, even with all our best exercise and sports science today, injury rates continue to rise at a staggering rate. This is where CARS come in. CARS is an acronym standing for Controlled Articulate Rotations. If we want to maintain the health of our joints and our ability to articulate them, i.e. our mobility, CARS is the most effective solution that I've been taught. In the past, I've promoted CARS as a way to move and stretch without even leaving your desk. They're included in nearly all our EVCO programs, and I also use them as assessments for private coaching students. CARS allow us to systematically explore the outer limits and entire range of motion of a given joint. By performing CARS for each and every joint, we can effectively train every range of motion available in the human body in isolation. So that, even with our modern lifestyle and limited amounts of time, we can maintain our mobility, resiliency, and physical well-being. If you understand how a joint moves through the 3 planes of motion, then you can perform CARS combining all 3 planes together. So let's say we're working on hip CARS. So those 3 different planes of motion. Number 1, we can practice
flexion of the hip and extension of the hip. Bring the knee up as high as possible into flexion. You'll feel the hip flexors working there. And bring the knee down and back as far as possible into hip extension. You'll feel the butt working really hard, the glutes there. Plane of motion number 2, we have hip rotation. So the thigh bone is rotating internally here. This is internal rotation. And here the thigh bone is rotating externally here. This is external rotation. And you can repeat that for a few reps. And finally, we have hip abduction and adduction. Hip adduction is squeezing the thighs together. And for this, we want to make sure that the knee is still pushed back. It's in line with the standing leg, okay? And then we have abduction, pulling the thigh out. And again, we're trying to keep that knee in line with the opposite one, but just separating the thighs. Adduction, abduction. We can start to put all 3 of these together into a full hip car. So once we've found our stable stance, we're going to take a breath into the lower abdomen and trap some air down there, brace the core, and irradiate through the body. We're going to lift the knee as high as possible, rotate the heel up and in, and then swing the knee out to the side and rotate the heel back. Then finally squeeze the legs together, knees in line. We'll continue that car in the same direction. Knee comes up. We rotate the heel up and in, swing the knee out to the side, rotate the heel back, and then squeeze the thighs together. One more time this direction.
Cars like these are not just for developing control. They can be progressed over time to enhance strength, becoming as intense as a max effort deadlift. Start with self-isolation and minimal irradiation. Irradiation refers to bracing and isometrically contracting the body and everything around the working joint. Let's say if we're doing a hip car, you can start with the core and the thigh on the opposite leg and start to bleed that irradiation out into the rest of the body. Isolation refers to just keeping the rest of the body still. So for instance, if we're just starting off, we might only irradiate around 20 to 40% of our maximum effort. And we're just doing self-isolation. Maybe one hand is on a wall and otherwise we're just keeping the rest of our body as still as we can through our own efforts. We can then move on to assisted isolation and moderate to high irradiation. So we might be irradiating around 40 to 60% of our maximum effort, and we're using some kind of external object for assistance to keep the body isolated. For instance, for hip cars, I really like to hold onto a squat rack. You can also increase assisted isolation by putting both hands on a wall when you're doing hip cars. There's many other ways that we can do that. And finally, we can use assisted isolation and maximum irradiation, ramping that irradiation up to like 60 to 100% of our maximum effort. And we could even load our cars to make them even more difficult and demand even more strength at our end ranges of motion. Just keep in mind that even a little bit of weight, like a kilogram or 2, can make a big difference in the overall difficulty of a car. And we don't want to be sacrificing our range of motion for the weight used. That's not really the point of these exercises. It's to demand internal strength from ourselves. We want to make those external tools secondary. Cars will enable you to maintain and improve the health of your joints, increase your strength at end ranges of motion, and improve your overall mobility. No matter what you want to do with your body and your life, cars are the beginning of a system that will enable you to do all those things you love better. There's so much more I'd love to teach you about mobility training, but we're going to leave it here for now. Please check out our programs on EVCO to continue moving, breathing, and evolving with our tribe. We just released Isolate, the first program in our Evolution Fitness system, which is going to teach you a series of cars and joint mobilizations for your entire body, so you can prepare yourself and your body for compound strength and mobility training, as well as flow training. And those are the second and third steps of our Evolution Fitness system. Check out the Isolate program and all of our programs on EVCO to get started with your movement and mobility journey today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to bring the next episode on our channel.